Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Fresh Out the Box. I'm Johananon, and today we're going to be doing a Session 0 for Cyberpunk Red.
And I'm Casualty CDG, but you can call me Gary. And I would say that today we're doing a Session 0 for Cyberpunk Red, but Jahan's already said that, so
I did already say that. I did already say that.
I don't need to, we have no reason to say it twice, so
know.
I won't waste your time with it.
Well, now we've said it like 3 times, but that's okay. Well, hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining in the chat. We love you guys. We know who a lot of you are already. It's great to have you.
Man, that's a weird thing to say. You know who they are?
A lot of them are regulars, are regular fans.
Oh, I thought you were. Okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood.
Who you are. I know where you live. I have a very particular set of skills.
I know what you're wearing. I can see you through the webcam.
I do know Jenny. Hi, Jenny. I love you. But yeah.
I can see you in your PJ pants watching our stream.
So we have 2 others joining us. We have a Matthew and a Kevin. They are both joining us. They're having technical difficulties. It's their first time on stream. So, it's all, no big deal. But we are here to talk about what we're going to do. Today's game is a Session 0, for those of you who do not know what that entails. It is my opportunity as a game master and their opportunities as players to talk about what they want out of the game, what kind of game they want to play, what kind of themes they want to explore, topics that are off limit because, they're upsetting to the people personally, those kinds of things, and we're going to make characters. Leighton might be dropping in later, but he will be a regular player of this Cyberpunk campaign.
If you joined us when we hosted James, Leighton played the character. Oh shit, I forgot his Levi. Levite. That's right, Levite. He played Levite, and it's a nomad, and he's going to continue playing that character. So he's not going to be here for the character design portion. But he said he may stop in later just to introduce himself, since this is a Session 0.
He had some very important actor business to take part in.
Mm-hmm. He is a very important actor.
He's a very important actor, yeah. He was on Mindhunters. That sounds like bullshit, but he was.
He was also in a cell phone commercial.
He was in a cell phone commercial. Man, that shit tripped me out so hard. I was scrolling through like TikTok at like 3 a.m. and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I know that guy. He was trying to sell me like a Samsung.
Yeah, I think that's exactly right. I think he was selling Galaxies.
Yeah.
I don't think he got a free one either.
Yeah. It's pretty funny. I hope everybody likes the new overlay. Because I enjoyed making it.
So we're gonna go. Yeah, man, the overlay looks.
Well, I didn't design it. I just set it up, set everything up. Yeah, it was made by Stream Magic, I believe. It looks great. Jenny likes it. We have Jenny's approval.
Yeah, man, it looks fantastic. It looks better than the other ones, and the other ones are looking pretty good.
Yeah, they just look better and better, man. I'm glad I sprung for the premium. It really takes it to the next level,
We wanted to do like a true Session 0, like real 0, all the way 0. And maybe this will be able to end with character introductions into the world if we do well on time, which so far...
Absolutely. I would be okay with that.
Let's say so far we're not doing so well on time, though. Not that we're behind, but we haven't really gotten started.
We haven't gotten started, yeah. It's not a great. It's the opposite of a great start, but that's okay. So Gary, what are some of the things that you would like to explore? What are the kinds of what kind of character you thinking? That kind of stuff.
Absolutely, man. I've got the roles all pulled up on page 29. I don't know if you've got your book shared on the screen today or not. But page 29. Yeah, man. 29 is where all the roles are. It gives you like a 1-sentence description of what they are, what they do. I'm not looking to play Rocker Boy. I already played a solo just for a little bit. I got a taste of it. I'm okay. Not looking for the Netrunner. I saw you do that. It was cool, but not for me.
Man, it was cool.
Yeah, man. That the very simple D10 net running system is super approachable.
Yeah, it is. It's not as bad as it seems.
Shout out to James for making that.
Yeah, shout out to James. James, the creator of the net running system, was the one who ran us. So that was fun.
Then that was dope. Yeah, and so he definitely knew what he was doing.
Maybe he made it look easy, but I don't know. You know.
Then that brings us to techs. Those are like renegade mechanics and inventors. I don't think I'm gonna play a tech.
I don't.
Maybe that could be kind of cool.
It doesn't seem like.
I don't think I'm gonna play it.
You hate crafting.
I do, but there'd be something cool about playing a tech. Maybe not in this campaign, but at some point in the future, playing a guy who like builds and works on mechs with machine guns and stuff. Like you make turrets and bots. That could be cool.
We're playing a mech game on Monday, right?
We well, I think it's more like a ninja type of mechs, like small, fast.
Yeah, like Warframe. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think
they're more like Iron Man suits.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, I don't know if I would call that a mech per se. You're not wrong.
Tomato.
You're not wrong. Med tech, maybe a healer, probably not.
Med tech is actually very cool. All of the classes, I like all the classes.
I'd consider a media. An exec, not so interested, and lawman is on my short list. Fixer is on my short list, and Leighton's a nomad.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking between lawman and fixer. That's where I'm at.
So you're thinking between lawman and fixer. Absolutely, I'm gonna be taking notes.
Let me go look at... I know the lawman's ability already, and it's one of the reasons I'm so drawn to the class. Their role ability is backup.
I got a fresh notebook. Mm-hmm. And a fresh little notebook to stay organized for this Cyberpunk game. They're both red.
Yeah, man, you came prepared
for Cyberpunk Red,
and they're red, so you won't forget.
Yeah.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. Getting all.
The lawman's ability is backup, and it gets them stronger and stronger as they level up, so they can call in people to help.
Yeah, they can call in.
And the fixer's ability is operator.
Oh wow!
I don't know what the fuck that does.
They can call in.
Yeah, sure, right. Put two on one screen. Why not? Sounds good to me.
Sounds good, guys. Yeah, absolutely. So they might be sharing a screen tonight, but that's okay. No big deal. Ah, man, it's not a problem.
Two-headed monster.
Two-headed monster.
It doesn't bother me.
As long as they touch each other under the table, I don't care.
You know, Matthew and Kevin combined almost sounds like Etten, and an Etten is a two-headed monster.
Matthew and Kevin combined sounds like an Etten. How?
It's almost Etten. It's like the Ethu and the Kevin, the Ethin, like an Etten. There's two T's. There's an N.
I feel like you're gonna hurt yourself trying to reach that.
You know what? It's a reach, man. But I was trying to read you the fixer's role ability to compare it to the lawman to see which one I want to do.
So you really are considering? Oh, fixer. Right. I was thinking.
Fixer.
The tech, because fixer tech. I don't know. I got confuzzled, buddy. Life in the city still depends on technology to keep everything from going full-on post-apocalypse. Bro, the friggin' the tech guy looks like Keanu Reeves as well. Have you seen him? He looks just like Keanu Reeves.
No, I'm sitting here reading the fixer role. So the fixer can make a night market.
Make a night market. Okay, elaborate.
They can always source and can sometimes use their influence to gather other fixers into creating a night market, which makes all price categories of items available to them for a short time.
So they can call.
They also
they can just create a black market.
Mm-hmm.
That's
they
badass.
can set up a black market like later this month or later this week, right? And they've got contacts that owe them favors, and they can trade favors. And then the last thing they get is like a bonus to haggle.
That's interesting.
Your cool plus trading plus your operator rank plus D10 against their cool plus trading plus operator rank if they're a fixer plus D10.
Man,
if you succeed, you make one deal. Your operator rank, only one fixer deal can be made per transaction. Oh, weird.
So that means that you can't just do it willy-nilly. You can, like, get a good deal on a thing. Which I enjoy, because the other way is very exploitable.
Yeah, I don't really like letting players or having players roll and re-roll the same thing over and over. Like, if you rolled the check, you rolled the check. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need to roll all day. You search the room. Everyone doesn't need to search the room independently. The best searcher searched the room and found the thing.
Yeah. Hey guys, how are you guys doing?
Doing all right. Better now. Thanks for allowing us.
Two-headed monster.
Yeah, it's not a big deal. So welcome to the stream, everybody. Matthew, you prefer Matthew?
Matt's fine.
All right, Matt and Kevin. They are going to be joining us for the long haul on this one. This is going to be a 10-session campaign. This is session 0. And we are going... Oh, you guys can't see them. The book's in the way. There you go. Hey, everybody. There we go.
Oh, shit.
But yeah, welcome to Fresh Out the Box, guys. We're glad to have you. They will be sharing a screen today as there are some technical issues, which it's fine. No big deal. We're not so formal here, It's okay. But yeah, this is y'all's first time with Cyberpunk Red, right?
Yeah, I've never played it before. Never any futuristic tabletop games, actually. I'm pretty psyched.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very fun.
Yeah, same. I've first heard of it was just a couple days ago, and I've been delving into the rule book and checking out some YouTube videos and stuff like that. And I'm very excited to get into the strange dystopian future that they've created. So.
Oh wow, you did some research. Wow, that's good. That's good. I like that. I should
research how to make my webcam work a little better, but didn't get around to it.
Hey, it is what it is, man. You did homework, and that's probably better. Honestly, I don't know. But so,
it took me a while to get my webcam and headphones in a decent situation too. It took me like 3 months, so don't worry about it.
Right on.
Yeah, I've had to learn how to do all kinds of stuff to do this stream. Every day. Every day's a school day. But yeah, welcome to the stream, guys. Very happy to have you. Leighton will maybe stop in later, but he will be playing with us. He is our 5th. So there's going to be 4 players. Most players we have done on the stream, I believe.
Mm-hmm, that's correct.
But this is your opportunity to tell me what you want. Tell me themes that you would like to explore. Things you would like to do. Like, do you want to do heists? Do you want to, save a sick city from a plague? Do you want to, do weapons deals? Are you guys going to be heroes, villains? Do you want to run a criminal whatever you want, this is your chance to discuss it with us.
And also, this is where we can draw hard lines on things that should not come up in the campaign. Borrowing this from one of our streaming friends, +1EXP, he always has a hard line: no sexual violence in the campaign. Period. We're not doing that. We're not going to cover sexual violence on the screen. It's something that everyone across the world agrees for, racism and sexism. We know those are hard lines. We're not going to do that kind of stuff. But if there's anything that bothers you as a person that you want to draw a hard line in, now's the time to let us know so we can stay away from those types of themes.
Hey, thanks for the host, Sheila. Appreciate it. Hi, Sheila. But yeah, so they're called Masks and Veils. So mask is something that you, I believe, want covered up, like gratuitous violence or sexuality. Like if you're uncomfortable with sexual content, you can say you want a mask on it. Veils are things that you would like quickly moved past.
That's where I am for gratuitous child violence. So we can just put a veil on that. If there's dead kids, we can say dead kids and move on.
Yeah, which we understand. Like, we work with people that have mental illness, PTSD, that kind of stuff, and we want to make sure everyone's comfortable and welcome. So, anything like that you guys would like to put forward that you don't want, you just let us know, and that'll be done. So,
awesome. What do you think, man?
Nothing really comes to mind off the top of my head that you haven't mentioned already. So I think I'm good for right now. I really appreciate that dynamic, though.
Not a problem.
Absolutely. Yeah, we want to make sure everyone is welcome here at Fresh Out the Box.
Yeah, man, the whole tabletop community has been like super progressive and super accepting and very open. So we'd like to keep that going. We don't want to be the one guys who are like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, no thanks.
We put our foot down and we do the bad things on this channel.
Yeah.
No, that's not for us.
Mm-hmm.
So earlier I was looking at page numbers. If you guys have your page pulled up, your what is it called? Roles, not classes in this game. They're called roles. It's on page 29. That's what I was reading real briefly where y'all were getting set up. To kind of feel out the most basic class assignments in this game. That's your good starting point. And what are you guys interested in? Because I've got two, and if you guys are interested in one of the two, then I'll switch. And if you guys are interested in both of my two, then I'll switch.
Gotcha.
Yeah. The classes were really interesting. I love the breakdown, the depth of them and stuff. And I don't know if there was anything that was off limits based on the world that's being created. But I think personally, I was looking at the Netrunner and the Nomad.
I would say that Nomad, Leighton's a Nomad. Nomad is the driver class, and Leighton played it in our playtest when we hosted the company, and he loved his character. It's like he's a really Jewy driver, and Leighton is a Jewish guy, and he tones his Jewishness way up. So I can say it because when Leighton's here,
Leighton's here. He's representing his culture, and it's pretty cool. Levite is actually the name of a kind of priest in the Jewish faith. So it's pretty much like his name is priest, which I think is pretty badass.
That's right. Yeah, his name is basically priest, and he's a driver, and he's good at heart. He's not a piece of shit. So if that goes into whatever you want your character to be, at least Levite is not a piece of shit. Maybe the rest of us could be. That's up to us.
Gotcha.
So you're thinking Netrunner, huh?
Yeah, it was really interesting to me. I like the whole sort of, I don't know, hacking into the Matrix vibe and everything.
Absolutely. I actually played it with when we played with the guy from Artel Sorian, James. He's the guy that designed the net running system. So I got to play with him, and that was very cool. I really like how you don't have to leave the party and the group to go into the Matrix because it's augmented reality. It's overlaid on everything else. You can still see the world and move in it, which I think is genius. It really keeps you in the game even when you go dive into a computer.
Yeah, you could still be under threat and under fire and having to drive a car while you're in augmented reality trying to hack a system. That's completely possible.
I was kind of hoping one of you would play it. That way that side gets, shown,
It was kind of scary for me at first to look at that class and be like, oh no, they do different things. They have this whole new set of rules, this whole new set of skills. Because of the way they work, when they system dive, no one else system dives. That's for you and you alone, and no one else gets to touch that platform. But it's a D10, and I think it's John, maybe +1 or +2, and that's it.
Yeah, it's very simple. It looks intimidating, but it's very simple.
Super simple, yeah. And I think you'll enjoy it. It seemed like I watched it. I watched Jahan do it. And it was a lot of fun to watch. I was on the edge of my seat just watching him dive through systems. It's cool.
I got lit on fire. What about you, Matt?
I was looking at maybe a fixer or a rocker boy.
Both very good choices.
Yeah, absolutely. What draws you to each of those?
The charisma, kind of, and I don't know. I want to do some crime in this game. It seems like those could, the way to go.
Crime is definitely a possibility.
Nice. That rocker boy aesthetic, they really expand on it more and more in their world, because when the system was written, I think it was written in John, like 84 or 87. So like the term rocker boy was like dope as shit back then. And so now when they write down rocker boy, all the old school fans, like, it has a cult spot in their heart. And for us coming in, we're like, well, that's a silly name for a class, right? Rocker boy, like that. But when you read into it, they are philosophers, they are street poets, they're performers. It's like, Rage Against the Machine would be a great example of rocker boys, because that's all, fuck the government, fuck the machine, down with the man, and they are that rage. They're such a great example, and they are literally rocker boys. But they said it expands across politicians or anybody who's willing to tell people to fucking stuff it.
Yeah, they do mention you don't actually have to be a musician. You can just be any brash personality. You're pretty much, your class is you are personality, and I like that. And what were you looking at, Gary?
I was looking at I shortened my list down because it was 4 this morning, and then I've got it down to 2. Fixer and Lawman. And the reason Lawman I want to do it, it's not at all because of my past. In fact, I've shied away from playing police characters and everything. But I just think their ability is dope as fuck. They get to call in backup, and the stronger they get, the more backup they call in. So it's one of those, oh shit, Deus Ex, I have the skill moments. Like, we got in too deep, we're fucking pinned down, all we need to do is survive 10 more turns until the SWAT team gets here.
Yeah.
And then as we continue to get into more and more shit, which I'm pretty sure we all will, then we can call in basically military backup and helicopters and shit to come help us. And I think that's a pretty dope thing to just be able to do. And be like, no, I don't have to know somebody. Look, it's on my character sheet. Yeah. I can do it. Like, someone's coming to help us. We have fucked up now. And then Fixer, the thing that intrigues me with Fixer is they know a guy. And knowing a guy is one of the things that I do in real life. Like, I'm not really good at a whole lot of things, but I always know a guy who is good at something. So I can always call somebody to help me out. And I get that feeling from a Fixer. So I feel like I could dial up that part of me to 11 and kind of connect with that character.
Yeah, but so Matt, Kevin, that's kind of the rundown. That's a good cluster of classes we got there for possibilities. What kind of things would you like to play through? What are you looking for out of the game?
I mean, I like being the good guys, but I don't like being like the good guy.
Oh yeah, I don't think we're gonna be Boy Scouts at all. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, no paladins here. It's okay.
I don't think I could do it if I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've just got anti-hero bubbling in my blood. So I heard Matthew say he wants to commit crimes.
I did hear
which
that.
I think that blowing some shit up could be cool. I know that's like, I know if you read the lore in this, or if you know anything about the Cyberpunk lore, that's all they do is they just bomb like a building every 10 years. Like, that's the plot is revolved around building bombings, and it changes the world again and again. Yeah. Like I think in 1994, Venezuelan narco terrorists bombed the World Trade Centers, and in the American economy collapsed. And then in like 2014, they bombed Arasaka Towers, which was like the corporate headquarters of the world, because government collapsed, so corporations took over.
I believe that one was a nuke.
Yeah, they set off a nuclear bomb in Arasaka Tower, which cleared the whole downtown again, and then wiped out the corporations again, so they restarted again. So it's always a bomb, is my point. There's always a fucking bomb. That's how Cyberpunk writes their lore.
Okay, so bombs.
I feel like we gotta bomb something. And please don't take that out of context because we're talking about a tabletop role-playing game. I don't want that sound clip coming back of me saying.
Yeah, watch the sound clips, guys. Watch the sound bites.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I think the obviously, bomb crimes are super dope, and we should incorporate those. And I kind of like the idea of being sort of, if we're gonna put it into a box of like good and bad characters or whatever, then having still maybe some self-interest or ulterior motives or something that aren't necessarily bad, but they're yours. I also really like, I don't know, like plot twists and stuff like that. So it could be interesting to have some sort of, I don't know, betrayal line or something as well.
I was thinking that too, but then I was like, if I tell him I want to be betrayed, well, then the only way he could possibly betray me is by not introducing a character that betrays us.
Maybe that's one of my relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I already have fucking trust issues, Jahan. Don't you dare.
Betrayal is always an option.
Let's do. Is there like a you know how there's always there's like the corrupt corporation, the fucking corrupt military. There's always the corruption. We do a corrupt police storyline. Can we take down a corrupt police force?
That'd be awesome.
Okay. All right. So with this, I have written the story.
Yeah.
That's what, 5 things? Yeah, that's pretty good. Corrupt police. Okay. Yeah, these are good. Keep going.
Yeah, keep going. Fuck it. We're gonna write all 10 sessions right now. Everybody at home, take notes.
I mean, maybe high-speed chases.
High-speed chases? Okay.
Oh, there's gonna be some high-speed chases.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the entire Nomad class that Leighton is built around driving. When they level up, they get to add improvements to their car. And so, or they can unlock new cars to, like, in their motor pool so they can have all sorts of different vehicles and all sorts of different upgrades. And so it's a whole part of the game based around time to get in the car and have some dope-ass car scenes.
Yeah, cars will be a part of this.
Nice.
There are different parts of town, right? I'd like to see some different parts of town. I'd like to see
different parts of town. Okay.
Yeah, because this whole campaign can take place within a city. It's not like most campaigns or most tabletop games where you think of traversing, nations and city-states. This one we could stay in the city. There's enough here, and I think that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I agree. What about, do you guys need to leave the city? Do you guys want to explore outside, or are you guys content within the confines?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like the idea of being in the confines and like finding all the little like details.
Gotcha. You guys really want to immerse in the city.
Yes, and also anything that might entail aquatic regions of the city or any kind of sky-related missions. I know there's a couple of flying craft that we didn't get to see last time.
Yes, there are.
And the idea of crashing and falling out of the sky seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, building off of the city containment, but I like, the aquatic nature too. Could we have maybe some underground tunnels? I feel like that's almost like old cities,
Oh, man, I can't wait for one of these ideas to kill you guys. It's going to be fun.
That's the point, right? One of these
is the point. So, from a role-playing versus action standpoint, if you could assign, a percentage, what are you guys looking for? Like 50% action, 50% roleplay? You want 30, 70? Like, what do you guys want? And each of you can give me a different answer.
I'd probably say 65 roleplay, probably.
Wow.
The rest action. I like roleplay.
That's good. I like that.
I would say 2 combats per session, ? Maybe 1, maybe 2, but I'd like to see a combat every now and then, And I know that combat's not necessarily the way to solve a problem, so I don't mean we need to kill people, but maybe we need to escape some kind of skill challenge every session, you know, some kind of oh shit moment.
Definitely action. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Kevin?
Honestly, I mean, I'm kind of split down the middle, which is not helpful at all.
No, that is helpful. That is helpful.
Definitely like, some good combat and, or puzzles or something to solve. But, I also really enjoy, the creation of the world. And it's kind of why we do it. So,
absolutely. See, it is helpful because what I'm learning is that all of you want action, but all of you also want roleplay. So that's good. Very good. Also, as we do this, you guys can help each other figure it out. But try to pick your role. Narrow it down. We can talk about them. I have the book open, and I'm happy to answer any questions. I've never run this game, but I have played it, and it was very fun.
I think I am going to go Lawman. Think I'm going to do it.
Okay, man. That was a good time. Yeah, that was a good time.
Yep. Now, let me find back where that is on the character sheets, and I'll get that filled in. And I'll start to see what that means for building my character as well.
I can also, let's see, Kevin's.
Yeah, I think I want to be a rocker boy.
A rocker boy, okay. Okay, that can work. Here, let me make it so that Kevin can access the character sheet on the other screen. There we go. So now both Kevin and Matthew's character sheets are editable on Matthew's screen.
That already gives Matthew and I, our characters, even without having names, cause to know of each other.
Because he's a rocker boy?
As a rocker boy and me as a lawman, and with there being a plot of corrupt police, that puts either I'm telling him about the corruption, he's investigating the corruption, he's got a loud mouth and I got dragged into it, something. But we very easily, we could, right there, the plot puts us, either we could be friends, I could have been talking to him for months about all this supposed corruption. He could be leaking all that shit. So we can figure that out. But it certainly puts us in the plot.
Okay.
It's a bit harder to do with a netrunner because a netrunner can go wherever the fuck they want. Because people look for netrunners. Netrunners are hard to come by.
Netrunners are dope. But Kevin, you are going to go with netrunner?
Yeah, I mean, after the Nomad was taken, I was kind of especially considering the world that's coming together here. Maybe thinking about the exec, because that was kind of an interesting. I really like the bodyguard.
That is unexpected and cool. Very cool.
You guys can help me out because I don't want to play a character that's like solo and stuff. I really want to be part of the ensemble and not have like a detraction from the story. Or I'm afraid the runner may have a tendency to go that way.
So, I mean, pretty much it's going to be my job to make you guys fit. You know what I mean? It'll work. I can pretty much make anything work because I mean I have a lot of experience. But if so, it might be the kind of situation where it's a temporary alliance, but you're very much stuck together until the end. You know what I mean? For one reason or another, maybe people are trying to kill you, and these are the only people that aren't trying to kill you. Could be something like that. It could be just about anything, really. You discovered a secret amongst your corporation, things like that. So anything, if you want to play the exec, it works.
Okay.
Here's actually a really cool little blurb on the side of the exec page that I'm going to read because it applies to both of us, Kevin. It's It's a sidebar about playing execs and a lawman and how they fit into this world.
Ooh.
In the real world, it's unfortunately all too common for people with power to punch down at the people without it. That's doubly true in the world of Cyberpunk, where the corps and police forces have more power than just about anyone else. Let's face it, if you're playing an exec or a lawman, there's a pretty good chance you aren't working for the good guys. Still, you need to ask yourself, in a world where edge runners often rail against the tyranny of authority, where does the lawman or exec fit in? Are they selfishly using the rest of their party for their own gain? Are they the classic kid made good, hanging out with old friends and caught in between two worlds? Or are they starry-eyed dreamers hoping to change the system from the inside? These are all valid stories for you to tell. Just be careful. You know the old saying, power corrupts.
I like that a lot, especially that part at the end of there about the dreamer kid wanting to break down the system from the inside out. I'm starting to get vibes of like a continuation of Matthew Lillard's story in SLC Punk. You guys have seen this movie at all?
Yes, I have.
So maybe the exec is a continuation of his story. I really like the possibilities here. But again, I do kind of want to see the Netrunner in action because it, like you guys said, it was seems to be a newer class and everything. So I'm bad with decisions.
The Netrunner is sort of the, and I say this with a grain of salt, is sort of the wizard of the system.
Kind of. Yeah.
If you wanna light people on fire with your mind from over here, if you wanna stun the whole room, you can look at cameras and like dive into the network and scope out and see where different access points are and where people might be hiding in the compound. They're really the wizard. They have a whole bag of tricks.
Yeah, you have a lot of things you can do. The way it works is you find an access point. You don't necessarily have to plug in. You can do it via Wi-Fi. But once you enter the cyberspace, there's two things that Netrunners do. They access cyberspace and what is called meat space, which is the real world. While you can move in meat space while in the cyberspace, and what's going to happen is an overlay is going to take over in front of you, and you're going to see more. It's not going to cover anything up, but you'll see more. You'll see these rooms, and you go room to room. You have to break through doors, and sometimes there'll be a program in there defending something. Sometimes you'll have to go find an access point, and you'll have to get through several programs defending it to get to it, and then you can access like for instance in the game I played, I had to go through a Hellhound program to access a car's control panel so that I could access the car, turn on the car, and give access over to our Nomad. And then he had full access to the car, and then I erased all trace of me having been there in the first place. And it was pretty fun. And I got caught on fire during that whole thing. Because there are things called black ice programs, which can light your physical body on fire. Yeah.
Man, I just dove into the exec's skills, and those are pretty fucking cool, too.
The exec is very cool.
Yeah, I think, honestly, I'm starting to lean that direction, because, I mean, it would be, I think maybe the fact that I couldn't get my own laptop to work is maybe a sign that I shouldn't be hacking into any cyber.
Hey man, it's roleplay. You're supposed to do what you can't do in real life.
It's the only way you'll ever be able to use a computer. This is your
chance.
That's true. No, I think I'm gonna go ahead and I think I'm gonna go with the exec.
Okay, very cool.
You're gonna need this mug. It says #1 boss.
But am I?
Alrighty. So, interesting.
That's going to be your trophy at the end of these 10 sessions. I'm going to go to Jahan's house and take that fucking mug and bring it to you.
#1 boss. Actually, like, honestly, the fact that you picked exec is very interesting and cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'm really scared already how our characters are going to interact.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can tell you one thing for sure. Next Wednesday, I will be dressed to match the
Oh, ooh, shit.
Ooh. Maybe I'll do something too.
Oh shit, I was gonna say I'm not going to, but I could probably find a cowboy hat.
Maybe I'll do like a street samurai top knot.
Ooh,
or something.
Yeah.
Or a man bun, as it's commonly referred.
I'm sure Leighton's going to look like a Jewish driver. He did get himself a driver's hat, didn't he?
Oh,
at
my
one
God.
point? I think he did. I think he was wearing it at one point, and I was giving him shit for it. I was like, "The fuck is that on your head, man?"
That's funny.
He's like, "I was wearing it all day." You remember that?
That's really funny. But yeah, so now that we have this, we can start delving into your characters, your connections, your everything.
That's right. We should all go to page 41 on the PDF, and that should, if I'm not mistaken, be a clickable page that helps us build our characters pretty quick.
Yeah, it's like a little. Is this the one with the flow chart?
Yes, yes, it is. So there's actually 3 ways to build your characters in this game. They call them Street, which is like a package character that's already, like, all the stats are pre-rolled for you. Edge, which allows you to make some quick decisions to change how your character is built, or a complete package character, which you build from the ground up.
Yes.
I don't actually see a reason to build a character from the ground up in this game, because the packages start you with really good skills and then give you 6 more points to distribute. So you might as well take the package and then play with what you have within the package. Take away some skills if you don't want them, add some more skills, but starting from 0 in this game is actually kind of a bitch. It's almost easier to start with one of the templates.
Yeah, there is quite a bit to the character sheet and character creation, but it's not overly complicated, and once it's done, it works very well.
So I can open my character sheet on the right side of Roll20. I go to roll, type in Lawman. That's step 1, was to pick a role.
Yep, step 1, pick a role.
Step 2 is run your life path on page 43. Let's see what the hell that means.
Yeah, running the life path is... So I'll read it. I'll read it to everybody.
Just give us the meat and potatoes so we can kind of be grinding turning our wheels while you're talking.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys turn your wheels. It's like climbing out of a clone vet, if cloning worked that way, that is. You got this half-formed person standing there, dripping with slime. Maybe you've got a vague idea of where you're going with the character, but nothing else. So how do you take this blank and make them really cyberpunk? You start with the life path. Life path is a flow chart of plot complications designed to help give your cyberpunk character an authentical dark future background. Authentically. Authentical is not a word. Authentically dark future background. Its sections cover your culture, origins, your family, friends, enemies, personal habits, and even key life events. It's intended primarily as a guide. If you encounter something you don't think fits the character you've envisioned, feel free to change the path as you see fit. And remember, Cyberpunk hinges on role-playing, so make use of the information of your life path. It's guaranteed adventure generator.
I'm not gonna be too brave on my cultural origin. I'm just gonna stick with North American.
Same.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I mean, I was an Iranian because I am Iranian, and this game encourages you to represent. And Leighton was Jewish, so we got to be ourselves, and that's very cool.
Yeah, last time I played a big old Texan.
But if you guys want to be from another country, if you want to be South American, European, if you want to be a Russian, I don't know.
Well, that's right. If I want, I could play Russian.
Yeah, you
I could always
play
bring
Russian.
the hammer to fight.
Or you could be Transylvanian.
I play strong Russian from the motherland.
Like, don't be afraid of any of that. And I'm pretty sure we already talked about racial sensitivity before everything. So, just keep that in mind, and you'll be good. You'll be good. Whatever you want to be is fine. After that, you're going to pick a personality. You do not have to pick from this list. You do not have to roll. You can pick or you can roll if you're unsure. But you can be sly and secretive, rebellious, antisocial, and violent, arrogant, proud, and aloof, moody, rash, and headstrong, picky, fussy, and nervous, stable, serious, silly, and fluff-headed, which is kind of funny, sneaky and deceptive, intellectual and detached, or friendly and outgoing. Those are the base personalities that give you 10 personalities, so you don't have to think of one, because it can be difficult. So if you want to randomly choose, you can roll a d10 by typing /roll space 1d10 and hit enter and roll 20. Or you can just choose from that list, or you can come up with your own personality type. But they want you to write it down so you can be held accountable.
Cool. I think it would be fun to be a little eccentric and rebellious.
Eccentric and rebellious.
Yes, which is an odd combination, but
it's a great combination for a rocker boy. I'm gonna go with cold and vengeful.
Cold and vengeful. Okay. That makes sense. Going for that noir lawman, huh?
You got it, baby. I've already got my storyline bubbling in my head. You know how they said that lawman, you're probably working for the bad guys. In my storyline in my head, the law in my community, my small, probably trailer park community growing up, was really fucking corrupt. They beat people up. They did whatever the fuck they wanted. They took money. They took whatever. They took your drugs. They sold your drugs. They take your fucking car. It didn't matter. Law enforcement do whatever they want. So I became an officer, and I still police that same community. And instead of following the law or working for anybody, I just do whatever the fuck I want. And the community's much better for it, and the community loves me for it, but the department not so much. Of course, I've got friends within the department, because you always will, but I've made a lot of enemies within the department as well.
Yeah, that's definitely choosing to make enemies in your creation story is always fun.
Yeah, I figure probably 4/5 of the department hates me.
That's a lot.
It's Cyberpunk, man. I don't know how you want to make your world work, but I feel like police are more corrupt than just corrupt. So, like, you know, even with
do you know me?
Even within the police department, it's like these lieutenants work for these gangs, and these captains work for these corps, and these attorneys are on the payroll, and these deputies.
That's just realism.
Yeah, it's just all over the fucking place. So I figure my guy would have made a lot of enemies.
Absolutely. Now you wake up for your night shift. You finish the drinking you started the night before, and you hit the streets before it can hit back. Yeah, I got you.
I go squad car, fuck, with no pants on, with a bottle of whiskey. I radio that I'm on duty and go back inside and pass out on the couch.
There you go. So are you in the midst of giving up?
I run a small, meaningless trailer park, and I keep criminals from preying on the people who are there.
Okay, so you're
I do have a badge.
You're a dejected detective that
yes
is a slumlord.
Not a slumlord, but like a security guard.
Oh, you work there. Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I am a police officer.
Okay.
But this is where I live. This is the neighborhood I've always lived in, and I police it now.
Okay, so you police the trailer parks and the poor.
Yes, that's exactly right. Okay. And where it used to be horrible and corrupt, instead now I'm there. It's not so bad.
This is good. What about the two of you? Either one, Matt or Kevin.
Where are you at, man?
In terms of how I am, the personality, I'm thinking, I think there's really something to the silly and fluff-headed executive, and it's sort of because these people, they come off a certain way, and I feel like more likely than not end up being snakes in the grass or something because people didn't really take them seriously because they seemed so non-threatening. But it's also sort of a paradox because, when you think of the corporate executive world, it's very cutthroat, it's very competitive. So like, how did somebody like that make it this far? And I think it's very interesting to a person like
that. Why do you think that you did? Are you just very intelligent? Are you guarded? How have you prospered, given your atypical executive demeanor?
Well, I think that because I don't really like just flat characters, I'd like to kind of maybe morph it. But I think that it is sort of almost a manufactured personality it's one of many over many years that this individual has constructed to kind of suit the situation. So this is somebody that's like a master of reading people and kind of manipulates situations based on X, Y, or Z. So sort of like a corporate sociopath.
So you're silly and fluff-headed on the surface, but beneath you are calculating.
Right. So yeah. So it's
Very
kind
cool.
of depends on who's asking, I guess.
And if you're a corporate sociopath and you're watching our stream, you can go fuck yourself.
I don't think any corporate sociopath.
I don't think so either. I felt really confident saying that.
I feel like they have.
I don't think anybody left. I don't think we lost a single viewer.
I feel like they have like snuff films to manufacture and horrible stuff like that. So
donors have exited the chat.
Corporate exec joined the chat and said, "No, you go fuck yourself."
God, I would be so happy. No, that's definitely a great beginning. What kind of company do you want to work for? Anything in particular, or do you just want me to assign you one?
So there is actually a full roll table for this if you'd like to take a look and maybe get some inspiration. I saw it earlier. I'm trying to like speed the builds along, but like this game has so many awesome tables.
It has a lot of good tables.
So many. There's tables for everything. So we may want to look at it just for funsies.
Do you remember where it is?
It's easy to find.
So while Gary looks for that, what about you, Matthew?
As far as like background or
background, personality, base stuff.
Okay, I'm thinking I want my character to be kind of a general artist, maybe a little more on like performance art and found media. So like putting trash together. I don't know, could be fun. And yeah, using those mediums to like, I guess, change people's minds or start the revolution or whatever is happening in this scenario.
Absolutely. So you want to be all right. So you're kind of what do you call it? Like a there's a term for it. But anyway, you do the art and you're trying to make people think, trying to get people to wake up, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Any particular?
Is this like a Banksy type of prodigal artist, or you just?
You can be Banksy. I'm fine with that.
Graffiti artists.
Not unlike Banksy, but maybe more front and center, shows their face, like well known still, like people recognize them. Also maybe a little ridiculous. Yeah, a little Warhol kind of, as I don't know, something there. Yeah,
like
absolutely,
a little Salvador Dali mixed in.
Yeah.
Dude is a fucking nut bar.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a Payday, bro. But yeah, so you're kind of a strange, interesting art type. You're known. You're not afraid to be known, and you. Any causes that are close to your heart. There are many you could choose from, orphans, orphans of the capitalist system, the war effort. There's a lot of wars going on. A lot of people are dying still.
I found it.
Oh, you found it?
Found it for Kevin.
What page is that?
It is on page 63.
Great, thank you.
No problem. There's a 10 table for what type of company, and there's a 6 table for what division you might work in, and then there's a 6 table for how good or bad that company might be.
Yeah, they got great tables in this. You could just roll dice and have a fully formed, well thought out character. It's really cool.
Yeah, it continues actually on the next page. Where is your corp based, whether it's national or one city or international? Who's after your corp? Who's gunning for your corp, trying to take them down? What's your current state in the corp for your boss? There's a full one for me, also for Lawman. That means I bet if I scroll up, there's one. There's one for Rocker Boy.
Yeah, there's definitely one for every situation. But yes, Matthew, while they're looking at that, any cause close to your character's heart, anything that he focuses on?
Sure, I think like very strictly anti-corpo.
Anti-corpo.
Yeah.
That's a popular. That's a good sentiment. Yeah. I mean, you think they're bad nowadays? Wait till they get their own private armies. You know. Yeah. Not saying that they don't have them already, though. So.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah. So anti-corpo, kind of strange. Gotcha. So these are very good starts. All of them are very good starts. I can already kind of see who you are, all of you. I like it. I'm happy with this. The next couple things that you're going to need to think of are like things like a name and how you look. Name doesn't have to necessarily come today. I understand being put on the spot to come up with a name can be difficult. You guys can come up with it by next session, or you can come up with it today. Either way. But a name, kind of what you look like. There's a lot of interesting clothing options and gear that we can get into more.
In fact, you have to get into it according to... You have to, because part of Cyberpunk is the punk, and the punk is clothing and your hairstyle. And your character will be judged based on their appearance everywhere they go. Mm-hmm. And if you look like you can't fight and you look like you don't know how to use your gun, the game master is supposed to challenge you. If you look like a badass, people might treat you like a badass.
Yeah, it is a very... one of the things that they emphasize in the character creation is looks are important. And they have many things you can do. You can get subdermal light tattoos that like have animation under your skin. You can replace your hair with what do you call them, like LED follicles, and like have like prismatic shift hair. You can have your skin turned to a pristine color so that you have no blemishes. All kinds of stuff. And also, you guys are going to be hacking limbs off and stuff and replacing them with robot parts. Because when we played with James Hutt, he did something cool, and I feel like it kind of helps you guys get started. You start with $1,500 or EB extra to put into cyberware.
EB is what they call their money. It stands for Euro bucks because since the economy collapsed in America, the world currency is now the euro dollar. And so they call them eddies, they call them EBs, they're Euro bucks, but there you go. Now you know.
And everybody will also start with a free neural link. So it allows you to access all kinds of things, stuff like that. And then there also are going to be packages to look at to get gear. You can kind of pick and choose, or you can get like a set. It's all very cool. And there's also a clothing section that we can get into. But right now, we're approaching that halfway point. So we can take a 5-minute break. Everyone go use the bathroom, get their drinks, all that good stuff. Everybody, thank you for watching, coming in and supporting us during the session 0. I look forward to running this game very much. So if you got to leave now, make sure to come back next Wednesday to see how we start.
That's right. And if you leave now, follow me on Twitch at CasualtyCDG. Follow me on Twitter at CasualtyCDG. Come back every Thursday to watch us play Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and then come back most Fridays this month for a buttload of guest appearances and a ton of indie games. We'll see you in 5 minutes.
See you in 5 minutes. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to Fresh Out the Box. While we were gone, I see that Captain Grimley has gifted several people subs. Thank you so much, Captain Grimley. Greatly appreciate it.
You. Holy crumbs.
It's very cool. Lord. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, everyone who's been sticking around, and thank you for everyone that joined. We are in the midst of character creation during our Session 0 for Cyberpunk Red. For our ongoing 10-session Cyberpunk Red game. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Central, till 11. So, yeah. How you guys doing? How was your break?
Great, man. It was a great break. I feel freshened up, and when I came back, I started looking at the clothing styles and remembered that Bag Lady Chic is a style, and now I'm pretty stoked that you can be homeless dressed.
Absolutely. Let's see. So, we were discussing many things. I think we're circling back to Kevin now. So, page 63, I believe it says, 64, is a flowchart to give you ideas about your corporation. The first is the where, then the who, and then the current state are the things that they're highlighting here. And I'll put it up on the screen so people at home can see. So, where? One city, several cities, statewide corporation, a national, international offices in a few major cities, or international with offices everywhere. Those are the options.
I really like the idea of an international corporation. Probably with offices in a few major cities. I like sort of that silent giant feel, like almost like the kind of a corporation that causes conspiracy theories to circulate.
Absolutely. I like it. So, obviously, most likely, there'll be an office in the city you're in. Unless I decide it's better without it. But either way, your international corporation will be heavily involved in the story. So, who? Let's see. What's the who's supposed to be? Who's gunning for your group? So, who is the enemy of your corporation? A rival corp in the same industry, law enforcement, local media, different divisions in your own company are feuding with each other. Local government doesn't like your corporation, or international corporations are eyeing you for a hostile takeover. Those are all very cool.
Yeah, the first one that really jumps out at me is the second one, law enforcement is watching you, just because of how it may tie into, Gary and then subsequently Matt's stories as well. I like that there's a through line there. And especially because my character, while they wouldn't necessarily be the reason that law enforcement is watching their corporation, maybe they should be. They're kind of like maybe on the same path of something, but for their own purposes. Otherwise, I like, of course, the local media, but the different divisions within the company feuding with each other is really interesting as well. Just because it gives my character a chance to sort of pull strings and manipulate in the way that they would.
Absolutely.
So I think I'm going to go probably with that, the different divisions in the company feuding.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got a bunch of, but yeah, so different divisions in the Wait, so you want to go with the different divisions?
I think so, okay. Unless you think the other one might fit a little better.
No, both of those are great. Both of those are great. So we'll go ahead and go. Yeah, we'll go with the different division. I thought I misheard you. So different divisions are trying to tear it apart from the inside. Excellent. And then current state with your boss. How does your boss feel about it? Your boss is your mentor. but watch out for their enemies. Your boss gives you a free hand and doesn't want to know what you're up to. Your boss is a micromanager who tries to meddle in your work. Your boss is a psycho whose unpredictable outbursts and are offset by quiet paranoia. Or your boss is cool and watches your back against rivals, or your boss is threatened by your meteoric rise. Yeah. And is planning to knife you.
I think, again, following like the corporate sociopath role, I like the boss giving me a free hand and not wanting to know what I'm up to, and that's probably because maybe he's the only person that sees me for what I am, and so he just gives me some leeway and doesn't want to be on the list or something like that. You know?
Gotcha. Boss is a little afraid of you and lets you do what you will.
If he's my boss, I'd have to assume that he's more proficient, at least in somebody's mind, you know, because he has that position. So maybe he's a little bit better trained, or she, and they can see kind of through my BS.
Absolutely. Okay, so seems like you're pretty well handled here, Kevin. All of you, really. All of you are pretty much. I can see your guys. You know what I mean? I can see what you guys are doing. I kind of have an idea of some plot elements already. So
I've been continuing down the actual character sheet itself, filling out the like after cultural origins, the personality, clothing style, hairstyle, what do you value most, feelings about people.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm getting that one slowly squared away, slowly chipped out. I'm not done yet. But for clothing style, I went with modern noir and expensive sunglasses. For hairstyle, short gray hair. What do you value most is honesty, and feelings about people is that people are obstacles to be destroyed if they cross me.
Sounds about right. I like it. I like modern noir. That's funny to me.
I'm imagining like everything Vincent D'Onofrio wears in Law and Order. I don't know how else to describe that besides modern noir. That's exactly what I would call it.
What does he wear? He wears like a suit with a trench coat.
Yeah, like a suit with like, you know, I guess it's a trench coat. Yeah, like you wear in New York. Except what the fuck would you own that in Texas for?
Like the cop in Blade Runner that comes to pick up. Oh no.
Like a duster.
What's that? Why can't I? Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. I drew a blank. The guy that comes pick up Harrison Ford from the food market. He's wearing like a hat and a suit and a trench coat.
Mm-hmm. I might have the detective hat. I might not. I haven't decided. I might have a little. I might get a hat. I don't want to wear a hat on the stream though because I don't want to be a fucking fedora guy. You know what I mean.
We know what you mean.
Yeah.
Fedoras are not cool. Stop wearing them.
Yeah, if you're out there, we're doing this for your own good. Just take that fedora off, put it in the closet, bury it, and don't look at it for a while.
Fedora is not a personality.
You don't have to live this way.
You know, yeah. We're here for you. We can help you.
Take it off right now. It's right now.
But it can certainly become.
For less than a cup of coffee a day, you can help someone overcome fedora addiction.
Look, if you want to put it on, just text me any time of day or night. I'll text you back. No, I'll tell you not to do it.
Like a sponsor?
Exactly. I'll sponsor your fedora addiction.
Awesome. Oh, man. Let's see. Where are we here?
I wish somebody told me that about jean shorts because I wore them for like 8 years too late. Man, I thought it looked cool as fuck for a long time, and nobody told me that I looked like shit. So this is for you, fedora guys. Don't be me.
Absolutely. So we already did nationality. We did personality. And now we're getting to clothing style. So they have these...
State of mind. That's what Jenny said in the chat.
Fedora's state of mind. Well, she's funny. She's a funny person. And she makes me laugh. So clothing styles, they have like broad categories to kind of, just to pick so that we get an idea of what you look like. They're on page 47. So you got generic chic, which, is generic chic. You got leisure wear, urban flash, business wear, high fashion, bohemian, bag lady chic, gang colors, nomad leathers, or Asia pop.
So as a police officer character, as a lawman, I was really tempted to put gang colors and tell you that that's what police uniforms are.
That's kind of funny. That's a good joke.
It's the largest gang in the country is law enforcement.
Did you come up with modern noir yourself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
But as Gary has demonstrated, you can pick, your own. You get to wear whatever you want. You're grown. It's all good.
Yeah, just remember that the way you look reflects the way that the world affects you. So me dressed modern noir may not actually be the best choice because I may look like a regular civilian sometimes that may get us messed with.
You sound like my parents when I try to leave the house in pajamas.
Don't wear that. You look like a victim. You can't wrestle in pajamas. Your ding dong will flop out.
Sometimes that helps. Sometimes people...
That's why I wear the pajama pants. I rip them off and run into the fight, and usually the fight stops.
But yeah, we can start with Kevin.
Well, my character is kind of a shapeshifter. So, I mean, business wear obviously makes the most sense, I think. However, I was really leaning towards sort of a mixture between high fashion and the bag lady chic, because it's all about the image or whatever that's presented. So I'm thinking maybe this person, am I allowed to be fluid with the clothing choice?
Yes. I mean, you can put on whatever clothes you want. But that that gives good, so you can function in multiple levels of society.
Yeah, and that's kind of the idea, is that I'm not necessarily anybody, not necessarily everybody, but somebody.
Okay. So sometimes you dress like Bucky Barnes with a cap and a jacket, and people can't tell who you are. Gotcha.
Yeah, a real bad Mama Jam.
No, that's cool. That's cool. And Matthew.
I think I'm going to have to go with high fashion. I think
high fashion.
The most sense with this character. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, no, that's definitely cool. So you're going to be a fashionable person as well. Okay. Interesting. And then you're going to have an affection that you're never without. It's like a signature thing that kind of, every character has one. The examples, these are just examples, are tattoos, mirrored shades, ritual scar, spiked gloves, nose ring, tongue or other piercings, strange fingernail implants, spiked boots or heels, fingerless gloves, or strange contacts. This is something that your character wears all the time, and you can be identified by it.
I do like the idea of fingernail implants. I'm not sure if that's like a Wolverine thing or...
Oh, no, that's later.
Oh, gotcha.
No, I think fingernail implants is like you have like little TV screens under there and they play Adventure Time, or you have... Okay. Yeah.
So just as cool, really.
Just as cool, really, yeah.
I really like the idea of the tattoos, especially, the way that they were talking about in the world, how they can be holographic and move and kind of show pictures or something. Because I like the idea of this person looking clean cut, being an executive, but then having this sort of like almost Japanese style bodysuit that is under this, So like when it's all said and done, it's just another kind of form of.
Gotcha. So you have the what do they call it? Like professional tattoos that don't go past your like suit.
Right, exactly. And they would be probably depicting things like, I'm imagining a giant back piece of like the orphanage that he was in burning down.
Gotcha. Burning down orphanage on your back. Gotcha. Okay, so you got some pretty interesting tattoos. You're all tatted up. And then what about you, Gary? What's an affection that you're never without?
So I went with, I was going to go with mirrored sunglasses, but I might actually wear some shades on the stream since I'm not going to wear a fucking fedora. But then I thought mirrored shades would actually look like crap on the screen and on the stream. So I went with expensive sunglasses. So it kind of gives me some playroom here.
Okay, more vague. You wear sunglasses.
Correct. I'm never without my expensive sunglasses.
You're a sunglasses guy.
I'm not sure what those look like yet, but we will figure it out.
Hey, that's okay. You guys can be vague and come up with ideas.
I kind of want to order some of those old sunglasses from like 1999 that wrap over the top of your head and have like the two little circles.
Oh, geez, those are awesome.
Yeah, man, those are not awesome, but they would be not awesome enough for Cyberpunk Red.
They're coming back.
That's not true.
They're coming back.
There's no way that's remotely accurate.
I'm pretty sure one of the character pictures in the book is wearing those.
Why do I have an image in my head of like a shitty speedster character in a movie wearing those?
Sounds right.
I can't place it though. I feel like it's a black guy in a gray outfit, and I'm thinking like Mystery Men, maybe?
Black guy. Great. Oh, no. I think that... What's his name? A-Train kind of dresses like that.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe A-Train does kind of dress like... Okay.
I think his wrap around, but...
Yeah, you got a little bit of like a flyaway home vibe with Dennis Quaid from the 90s. And she got that flight cap with the goggles on like Amelia Earhart.
Dude, flight cap is a good look. Maybe I should be a lawman that wears a flight cap.
Yeah, and then so... Matthew, are you going to go with the under fingernails thing?
Actually... I don't know.
I wasn't sure if you settled yet.
I don't feel settled.
It's absolutely, yeah.
I'm thinking strange contacts.
Strange contacts, absolutely. Yeah. So you're going to have less than human looking eyes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Maybe red.
Some red eyes, absolutely, for Cyberpunk Red. And then an important thing is next. It's what do you value most? The examples are money, honor, your word, honesty, knowledge, vengeance, love, power, family, and friendship. Those are good things to think about. To kind of try to, for everyone watching at home, it's I'll show the book. It just has these cool tables. You can just roll on them, and you'll wind up with a fully formed character at the end of it. Very cool. Ooh. Ooh, Gary be rolling.
So -7. So I have 2. So what I'm doing right now is I'm rolling on the friends table. And so you roll 10 and then subtract 7 to see how many friends you've made in your life. So they intend on you having few, if any, friends. But I rolled the 9, so I'm going to have 2 friends. I'll roll 2 more d10s to see what their backgrounds are.
Connor's going to wear a plain white t-shirt.
Oh, shit, that's his look. And may I say, he fucking rocks it.
Absolutely.
So a 3 and a 5. What does that mean for my friends? One is like a teacher or a mentor. The other one is a former lover. Ooh. All right, we're gonna go with teacher.
when I walked back into my apartment, trouble was waiting me. She's an old flame that never quite burnt out.
Yeah, I see a woman's silhouette through the glass door, smoking a cigarette. You hear the clink of a whiskey bottle hit the table as the decanter opens. Whiskey's poured from the bottle. All right. So I put a teacher, and I'm going to go with, I made up a name already, Amelia Pearson. And for my family background, I said that we are part of the Reclaimers, which you guys are about to read those family backgrounds. They're like people who are trying to resettle fringes of society, even though it's dangerous from outlaws and police brutality and criminals and gangs. They try to go out to like smaller districts that are just outside of town and try to scrape by. And so the teachers for those communities it's generally, a person. It's a mom. It's a friend. It's a friend of the family. And it's like a one-room schoolhouse type of thing. Everybody goes over there to learn. And so this is going to be that teacher. And so she's not just a teacher character to me, and not just a mentor to me. She's like the community teacher for years. So this character is going to be a pretty heavy emotional character.
Okay. Absolutely.
She's the town, woman who takes care and raises and teaches.
Making notes. This game's writing itself, guys. Connor says that your friends are just literally Thomas and Zach.
A teacher and a former lover.
Let's see. But yeah, so these things can be kind of can take time to think about. So the what do you value most? The most valued person in your life and most valued possession you own. Those things you can take time to think about and circle back to them. Because I don't want you to rush it. I want you to think about it. These are going to be driving forces for your character.
It was easy for me. I went with honesty. In fact, I closed my eyes and moved my mouse up and down rapidly, took my hand off the mouse, moved it around again, flipped it upside down and slapped it around a bit, called it a couple of the dirty names, and then landed on honesty, which was the one I was probably going to go with anyways.
It's a good trait for a dejected, down on his luck police officer.
Yeah, man, I feel like I have a connection to that character for some reason.
No, too honest to be a cop. So after that, there's going to be backgrounds, and these I don't know how many role playing games you've played, but it's very D&D background. Blacksmith, guild master, that kind of stuff. You got corporate execs, so that might be, well, let's see. Yeah, it's kind of like how you grew up, where you come from. Corporate executives, maybe your parents were corporate executives, you grew up wealthy. Or they were corporate managers, you grew up less wealthy. Or they were technicians that worked for corporations. You were still suburban, middle class. Also, you could have grown up in a nomad pack, which is like, they're nomads. They travel, they live in the desert, the wastelands, they go between cities looking for work, and they usually don't care too much about what the work is. You could be from a ganger family, which is bad. It's a rough life, you know what I mean? You grew up kind of around the criminal element. You grew up on the streets, maybe. Combat zones. You grew up in a combat zone. Could have been a good backgrounding character. But also there was wasn't there a huge Mexican war, Gary, in this setting?
You know it, baby, yeah. And you asked the right person. Yeah, there's a huge Texas-Mexican war going on. And I'm actually not sure if it happened in this time frame. I think it actually happens just a few years later. But it is, that's not to say there's not conflicts going on already.
Yeah, so there's a lot of conflict in the world.
Corporations and militaries.
You could be urban homeless. That's pretty self-explanatory. Reclaimers is what Gary said.
Yes.
So you grew up on the road and grew up in a deserted ghost town or some sort of thing to try to rebuild it with your family. But then you came to the big city and became a police officer, so that's fun. Or you live in one of those... would you like to be the police officer of a trailer that's not in the city? Or... 'cause I feel like the cops kind of stay in the city.
That's exactly why this neighborhood got preyed on by police for so long. That's exactly why. Because generally police stay in the city.
Because it's kind of on the outskirts.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
So this is the kind of place you can come and treat these people however the fuck you want, and no one's going to care what they say or what you do because they're not in the city anyways. It doesn't matter what they say. And that's exactly why. So I am more of a sheriff county type of officer than a police beat officer. I'm not a Night City Police Department beat cop. I'm probably whatever that greater county is.
I got you.
San Moro County.
And then the last one that you guys can choose. Well, I mean, you can technically make up your own. But the last example is Edge Runner. Your home was always changing based on what your parents' current job was. Could be a luxury apartment, an urban con apartment, I don't know, or a dumpster if you were on the run. Food and shelter. So you had an unstable upbringing, and your parents kind of did what you guys are doing. They were kind of like adventurers, you know, in a broad sense, but in a more realistic sense, they were mercenaries. And you grew up in the life, you know. So those are kind of ideas for that kind of thing. They also have childhood environment, and then another background section for like more detail. Those are things you can think about, and just figure them out before our next session, and you guys can message me about it.
Right.
And then there's friends. Let's see. But soon we're going to get to where you guys get to pick your skills, attributes, that kind of thing.
Yeah, the actual stat blocks, those would probably be nice to input tonight because that's kind of a pain.
Yeah, we should do that tonight so that they have me as a resource.
Yeah, the other stuff is more fun to write on your own. Well, it's not more fun to write on your own, it's fun to write in the group, but this assigning stat points isn't fun to do on your own, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So the street rat templates, it says you roll a d10 and copy the numbers adjacent, and it's got different d10 tables for your class. So you don't have to roll the d10, but there's some templates for your class. Like, obviously, there's a bunch of different builds for Rocker Boy. As you can see, the first build is a high intelligence, high cool, high luck. And the second one's a low intelligence with really high reflex. And so it's, you know, your intelligence guy, your charisma guy versus your attack fast guy. What's the other one besides the Edge Runner build? That's the one I think we actually liked more.
Yeah, the Edge Runner build is the same, but the tables are customized to your class so that you get something that works a little better with your class.
Oh no, they're both that way.
Oh wait, I remember the Edge Runner. So the rat one, you roll a d10 and you go straight across and you get all of those numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, you roll a d10, you pick the intelligence that you get. You roll a d10, you pick the reflex you get. You roll a you know.
I'm just gonna pick one of those stat bars. That's what I'm gonna.
The stat bars are solid.
But I also need to refresh myself on what the actual skills do, because I know that shooting, I think, was reflex and not dex, right?
I believe so.
And there's a couple of skills that, at least all the skills are on the character sheet. That might help me here.
But yeah, those are on page. Let's see here.
It's actually
76.
If you just click to the character sheet that we have, all the skills are listed with their appropriate stat. including weapons, and it tells you which ones you can buy for ×2.
Yeah, they kind of show you. I'll show the stream. I'll show them Layton's so that they can kind of see what you guys are filling out here. Roll 20, which is what we're using right now. It has a fully customizable and clickable character sheet for Cyberpunk Red now, which is very cool.
So it looks like fighting skills like brawling, evasion, martial arts, and melee weapons are dex-based, and ranged weapon skills like archery, handguns, and things like that are reflex-based. Empathy is going to be based on body, right, Jahan?
Empathy?
Mm-hmm. Remember how your empathy can go down?
Oh, you're talking about... Oh. I think it's based on more than one thing.
Yeah, it's... so the more robot parts you get installed, the more your humanity and your empathy levels can drop. And you can become a cyber psycho and lose control of your character to the augments. And that gives the game master full control to turn you into a slasher monster, or you run off into the sewers, never to return, or you disappear for now. So you have to go to therapy and things like that during your downtime actions to restore your humanity.
So how you guys doing?
Good, actually. I've gotten quite a few of them figured out. The only one that's a little confusing is the childhood environment. The one after that, where it says background on page 50.
Yeah.
I don't see a spot for where the background information goes in the character sheet, but I've got a bunch of things filled out. I think I did a spot with it.
Gotcha. I don't know if you actually have to put that on your character sheet. It might just be kind of like a kind of thing. But there might be a spot. I'm gonna look for it. Let's see. Might be under life path. Background, family background. So did you click the life path and inventories tab?
Yes, that's where I am.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, you're saying there's like that second background thing?
Right.
I think that's just kind of like, hey, Yeah. I don't think you necessarily have to put that on there. But there might be a spot. There might be. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what you guys have come up with.
Yeah, should I run through some of it now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So far I've got, like we said, for clothing style is kind of fluid. It's a situation. Obviously, probably will be in business attire most of the time because of the nature of their job. What do I value most? With knowledge. Just kind of experiencing everything for the sake of learning it and trying to achieve some sort of end path that only I see or understand. Most valued person, no one. I'm a sociopath. It doesn't. Most valued possession, I was tempted to go with a quote from Linoleum by NoFX. Possessions never meant anything to me. But I do wonder if maybe I believe it's a book, if the book might be beneficial. So I'm going to go ahead and go with a book for my possession. The background, I really like the Edge Runner story, but I think I wanted to augment it a little bit if I could, and that I was kind of moving around a lot, not because my parents had a job changing, but because they were dead and I was in like a bunch of different foster homes. They were murdered and we don't know who did it. So,
nice.
Childhood environment. I really like the idea of the one that's it's a huge like government-owned mega structure. I think that maybe I get kicked around to a bunch of foster homes, I get into some trouble, and then I'm essentially thrown into like the state jail of foster homes. You know what I mean? And that's probably the environment that I was growing up in. Family crisis, of course, was that the parents were murdered. Case was never solved. And yeah, I think that's where I'm at right now. Unless you have any questions.
No, that's good. I like it. Let's see. Do you have any idea what you wanted your parents to have been involved in?
Yeah, I think my parents, we were very poor for the small amount of time that they were around. And I think they were, I guess, degenerates, for lack of a better term. You know what I mean? They kind of showed me all the reasons that I don't like humanity at a young age.
Okay, so it was, gotcha. So you might not necessarily care about solving their murder.
No, and I'm wondering, because I mean, I guess it's my story, so I should know, but I'm also wondering if maybe I wasn't the one that murdered. It was like a first foray into being a nutbag.
Yeah, maybe you like blacked out.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It's a little too, like, I don't want to assassinate the character of my character too much. I might try to stray away from that one. But yeah, that, you know, the fact that they were murdered doesn't really register to me because it's just like, you know, things are here and then things are gone. And I learned that pretty much, you know, at the earliest that I could.
We can say that what happened is ambiguous. And what about you, Matthew?
I think I'm gonna have to think about it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That is fine. I like to take my time too. I usually have to come back to these things after I've slept on it or ruminated, or I have all my best thoughts in the shower. So you know. But yeah. So while we have you and you have me here, we can start looking at the stats.
I just dropped my stat block in, and I reread what it said. It says not to rearrange your stats. It says to take a template or to do the roll randomly, the 10, and take the 10 in some kind of psychotic way, or to build it from scratch. But you're not supposed to like fudge the numbers once you pick one of the bars because it says it's optimized for your character that way, and you're going to like it.
Yeah.
That's what it said.
So yeah, those
after we build, don't we have like 6 leftover stat points? Isn't that a thing?
Maybe. But yeah, so it starts on page 73. And then the very first one that pops up is the Rocker Boy table. And you can just you can roll a d10 and it'll pick an entire set of stats for you, essentially. And they are designed to be good for that character. But also, if you don't like it, you can kind of pick one of those 10 stat arrays if it's not working for what you envisioned.
I tell you what I'm lawman, and I wanted to be good at beating. I want to be good at fighting. I want to be good at shooting, and I want to be good at getting my ass kicked. And so I wanted to get my best numbers that I possibly could of any array in reflex, dex, and body. And so I found one where those are all 7s, but in order to do that, I have shit luck, and I have shit move, and I have shit intelligence. And that's fine with me, because I got the 3 I wanted. I'm going to be good at shooting, fighting, and getting my ass kicked.
Yeah. Cool. The rough and tumble, honest lawman.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so you guys can do that and just sort of you can pick which one you want, or you can roll if you don't want to. If you want to kind of be, you know, have your character be born the way they're born, you know.
So here's my question, Jahan. So I put in my stat points, and actually this character sheet keeps track of your stat points at the top left as you put them in. So I did, you know, I entered my things. Oh, wait, maybe I forgot empathy. I was going to say, it looks like I have 6 points left over, but
empathy, I believe, is a derived stat, and it comes from several.
Let's go there. It's there on the thing. It's a 6. So I no longer have 6 points left over. That actually works perfect. Is this how you know that your players aren't fudging their stats? Let's see. Yep. Because if I try to change that to a 7, it calls me out and says I have a -2 points and I'm cheating. Perfect.
Oh, so it keeps you in check?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes you make sure your stat points are perfectly correctly spent.
So you get 6 points to add as you like?
No. I had I didn't scroll. I didn't realize empathy was a thing.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's its own little thing over there.
It's not a derived stat. Yeah, it's on your It's
gotcha.
on the.
Okay, I thought it was, but I'm wrong.
Also, be really careful when using your mouse wheel to scroll up and down when you're clicking on your stats, because your stats scroll when you click them, not the page. so your number goes to a -2 from a 5 really quick. Oh shit! Look at that 17 paint draw sculpt.
You don't actually have to like click the name. When you do that, it shows everybody in the chat. That's kind of what that's for.
Hit points. My hit points are automatically derived. That's good. Thank you, character sheet.
But yeah, so and then in like for an example, in the executive tree, you can pick to have low empathy. 2 of them have 5s. But be aware that affects how much cyberware you can safely implant without going crazy.
Yes, so your empathy times 10 is your max humanity. So I'll be starting with 60, and each time you input some cyberware, you lose anything from 0 to 12 points, I think. And so you can lose humanity pretty quick if you start getting a lot of dope upgrades.
That's the trade-off, right? Either be a human or be dope.
It's exactly right, and it's kind of like that in real life too.
More human than human. Yep. Be all you can be.
So I'm through stats, and I'm down to skills.
Okay.
So let me start reading this and see. Do this part.
Oh, your hit points are a derived stat.
Mm-hmm.
Body and willpower. So your body and your willpower will have a cross section on a chart that gives you your HP. Just FYI, both of those numbers are important for your health.
Our skills are also broken into templates for us on page 86.
And we're doing pretty good on time, so that's good.
There we go. Skill templates, page 86. I typed in the chat so we all remember. Oh, and the edge runner way is you get 86 skill points to spend. No skill can be higher than a 6 or lower than a 2.
No skill can be lower than a 2?
Of the ones you have to have, you know.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, there's some that you start with that you must have, and you can't take those down below that level.
They're there's some basic skills that everybody has.
I think I am just going to take the street rat to the template so I don't have to build the stats from scratch. But I will take a look at that one after I get it set up.
Haha, boom. Every time that the things pop up, a noise happens, I turned that off. I was like, oh no. So sorry, viewers, but now that sound's gone. It's gone. Don't worry. Don't be mad.
Bloop. Athletics level 2. Athletics level 2.
Cool. So I can just take this Rocker Boy template.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Cool.
Yeah, nice and simple so that you can get to the game. In theory, a character could be made very quickly using this system. If you wanted to go like full rando, they make it pretty easy. Sometimes it's fun, but I like to think about it, I guess. I don't know. I like to customize. But sometimes it's fun to be forced into a roleplay situation because of how your character got made. I feel like you wind up playing stuff you might not normally.
Very cool.
The character sheet is not the most easy to navigate.
Really?
Actually, I don't even see the conversation skill. Conversation. Maybe it's just me.
Is that a skill?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I believe it's broken down into stat.
Oh, that might be one of the specialty skills?
Could be.
No, it's not. Oh well, I looked. Conversation. I'm just gonna add it.
Hey, you can just add it.
It's not what I meant to do. I meant to click to the right of it, my bad. I'm gonna under where it says local expert, I'm gonna make local expert conversation for now.
Yeah, that's your.
Let's see. I'm trying to find this thing for you. I feel like I'm missing part of the character sheet.
Oh, you know what? I bet it scrolls over, doesn't it?
I can't figure out how though.
Just make it wider. That's the only thing you can do. You're right. That is how to do it.
Oh, yep, there they are.
So I don't have to be a local expert on conversation anymore. Now I can just be a plain old conversationalist.
There they are. You can't see it on the stream because it went off of where I cut off the Roll20. But yeah, we found it. We found it, guys.
Mine was off the screen too. There was no scroll bar in the bottom for us to scroll over.
There is no scroll bar. I think that's an oversight of some kind. I'm gonna write an angry letter.
Don't do it. Don't get angry. Don't get mad. Get glad, baby.
But yeah, that'd be fun. That'd be fun to be a corporate exec for the Glad trash bag company.
Indeed, I've always wanted to work for a failing corporation.
There you go. But they have fresh Febreze scents.
But we make plastic that you can throw away. Don't you love throwing away plastic?
It's plastic you throw away when you throw stuff away. Yeah.
It's just more plastic to throw away.
If you want to throw away plastic, it's plastic that you throw away plastic in.
Nice. And when you put it that way, I buy 2 boxes.
There you go. Buy 2 boxes. Let's see. But yes.
First aid. I'm still going through my skills.
Have you guys figured out the stats, Matt and Kevin?
The stats, yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, once you have your stats picked out, you can go to page 79 to figure out your HP. And you find your will on the left, you find your body number on the right, you find where they intersect, and that's your HP. And that's what's called a derived stat. And then the other one is empathy. And that one's easy. I don't know why there's a table. It's just times 10 your empathy is your humanity. But they have a full table. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's funny. Actually, I'm gonna show the chat that. That's funny. Yeah, see, I don't know why. It's just a table that shows you how to multiply by 10. But I understand that they want to just make things as easy as possible. That way they don't have to address it in a FAQ online or whatever.
Didn't we figured out a secret to this last time, right?
To what?
To putting these stats in. Like every single stat that you have that's bold on your character sheet is gonna be a 2, right?
Yeah, they all start off as 2.
All of them, everything you could. So you could put like 2 in basically everything, but some of them are going to go up higher. I guess you're right.
Yeah, so you start off with 2 and all the bolded stats because those are considered basic stats that all people have, but they can be higher. So that's why they start at 2. And then, yeah. And then from there, you can continue to assign your points. I believe that takes out of your total. Yeah, so all your abilities, a lot of them are self-explanatory, a lot of the skills, but if you don't quite understand what all it encompasses, or like how you could use it, or like why it's there at all, feel free to ask.
Great.
I am the GM extraordinaire here for your reference.
That's right, the board game guru and game master extraordinaire.
There you go. I forgot all of my titles.
That's okay, I didn't. Interrogation. Ooh, girl, that's going to be a fun one. Shoulder, arms, and tracking. Those are my last 2.
And then, yeah, so on page 86, there is just straight up, like, hey, this is your class, these should be your skills. I understand that that's not necessarily the most fun to do, but they have a different method. How did you do yours, Gary?
I'm taking the thing. I'm taking the grid. The template.
Oh, you just took the template?
Yeah, because the other way to do it is 86 blank points, and all of those bold stats, like I said, have to be 2s, and then nothing can exceed a 6. Which could be fun if you want to sit around and do like a little micro build on your own and make sure all your skills are where you want them. But I wanted to, like I said, I wanted to shoot guns and I wanted to fight, and it looks like I have stats to shoot guns and fight. So I think Cyberpunk knows exactly what I wanted to do.
So the thing is here, it says no skill can be higher than 6 or lower than 2, and then the following skills have to be at least level 2. The higher than 6 or lower than 2, it means that if you put points into something, you have to put 2 minimum.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just put 1 in everything, because I guess they don't want you to do that, which makes sense. That's kind of silly. But you can do the point build if you want. Once again, you get 86, and then you have to put 2 into the listed ones, which are athletics, brawling, concentration, conversation, education, evasion, first aid, human perception, language, street slang, local expert of your home, perception, persuasion, and stealth. Those are all basics in attempt, pretty much, is what they're saying.
Sure.
And certain skills are marked 2, which cost 2 in level by 1. But you can just choose a template if you're more comfortable with that.
Also, I think I have all my skills, but
what about your skills?
I think I finished putting the skill points on my character.
Very good.
I thought I put all mine in, but now that they're all in, it says I have 4 skill points remaining. So I'm wondering what I missed, and I'm wondering what I did wrong.
I think it said something about how you have remaining 4 points to use or something.
Look at this guy. Yeah, that's right. It says don't forget the 4 levels of language you get based on cultural origin selection of your life path.
Yep.
So that's what it is. You get 4 levels of language.
You get 4 levels of a language you choose for your life path, because you're going to be fluent in whatever your primary language is. I figure all of you would just pick English, but you don't have to. You could not speak English. That's fun.
Yeah, I am actually going to speak English, believe it or not.
Believe it or not. Okay, good. It's a useful trait for an American cop.
I'm going to take 4 levels in it, too. I'll spend all my points on English. I suppose you could be bilingual if you wanted to in this game as well.
You can
just have a limited grasp of a couple of languages. That's kind of dope. And after that, what is that? Where does that take us? I'm feeling pretty good about these skill sets that are all filled in. That's the brunt of the work done.
That is the brunt of the work. But then the really fun part.
Weapons and armor. Oh, and then buying augments. Okay, there we go. Now we're fucking getting somewhere. 4 levels in English. Damn, you talk good. I think actually you can get 5 levels of English. So I talk well, sir. I speak good and I talk real well.
What's your intelligence?
My intelligence is 5.
That's not that low. You're okay.
It's not that low, but it is my lowest stat.
Yeah.
And my move, so I'm a stupid fat piece of shit. Oh, it's a good thing I picked a police officer. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
It's okay. He used to be a cop, everybody.
Calm down.
Everyone calm down.
It's a fucking joke.
Gary is a former child's crime detective.
And I'm a fucking comedian, so put a fucking sock in it. How you like that? Everything I say is a joke. Unless it isn't. And then fucking take it really seriously like a fucking word of faith. Alright, I'm into the weapons now.
Yeah, Kevin and Matt, are you guys ready for equipment?
There are equipment packages also for our characters, right? Yeah. Sure are. Page 98.
Oh, there's pictures. Ooh, that looks naughty. I want that. I want the gun from The Fifth Element.
Oh shit, yeah. Dude, I just watched Fifth Element again recently and it was dope.
Yeah. Ah. Let's see. But yeah, so let's get to the good stuff. What kind of gear you guys got? Where are the packages you said, Gary? 98?
Yeah, 98.
Okay, so yeah, they're going to give you basic gear. This does not include your cybernetic implants. But it looks like you guys get some fun stuff. So, for example, our resident rocker boy, Matthew, will be getting a very heavy pistol. Basic, very heavy pistol ammunition times 50. Then he gets to choose whether he wants a heavy melee weapon or flashbang grenade. Then he gets 2 tear gas grenades. And he gets a light armor jack body armor and a light armor jack head armor. They give you everything you need to succeed, and I believe you get a little bit of wiggle room too, because they're going to give you straight up, yeah. So you're also going to get 500 EB, in addition to the 1500 I'm giving you for cybernetic implants. The 1500 can only be spent on cyberware, but the 500 you can spend as you like, including on weapons and equipment.
See, that's 500?
Yeah, it says 500 for Street Rat and Edge Runner characters. So anyone who created their character in that way gets 500.
Got it.
But they also have a method where you can get a set amount of money and go spend it and make, like, completely customize. But that's how you wind up in a dungeon without any hemp rope. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's always like, why do we need rope? And then they need rope, and then they're like, well, shit. Which is why I love, what do you call it, the adventure packs in D&D. Everything you need. 4 levels in English. Damn, you talk good. That's right, Connor. And then let's see, what does our oh wow, Gary, you get? Did you take the assault rifle or the shotgun? I want to know.
Shotgun.
Shotgun, excellent. Yeah, no, that's very cool. And you have a heavy pistol, not a very heavy pistol, just a heavy pistol.
Right. Heavy pistol. And then I took 100 shells. But when I went to go mark my weapon on the character sheet, it lets you select the weapon type next to it, and everything is there except for shell shotgun. Only slug is there. So I named it shotgun shell so that we know later when we play the game that I'm using shells.
Not slugs. Gotcha.
Correct. So I don't try to pull a quick one.
Absolutely. Oh, it actually gives you the option here, but not on the character sheet. I see what you're saying.
Correct.
It says basic rifle ammunition or shotgun shells or slugs. So that's cool. For those of you who don't know, because you don't live in Texas or whatever, shotgun shells are like the spread. When you think of a shotgun, it's a shell. And the slug, it fires a round. It fires a bullet. Just like a rifle, pretty much. Just about as accurate, too. So, shotguns are versatile. And then, let's see, the exec.
I got a question for you, actually. I've put all my stat points in, but I've got only 3 remaining instead of 4. Did I do something wrong? I double-checked them, and the numbers are right off the table, but something doesn't add up. Possible for me to only have 3 language points, because I'm cool with it.
I would say just give yourself the 4 language points, and let's say, you probably didn't cheat a number.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine.
Right?
Okay.
The book is not without flaws. There's certainly some misprints. In fact, I saw one earlier when we were looking at the exec backgrounds. We were looking at a D10 table, and above the table it said, roll the D6 and consult the table below, but it was a D10 table.
Yeah, it happens. But yeah, so the execs are going to get a very heavy pistol, light armor for body and head. That's it from this section. But then there's actually, believe it or not, another equipment section. And anyone who didn't get a lot in the first section gets a lot in the second section, typically. Like, the Netrunner doesn't get anything in the first part, because that's not what they do.
Mm-hmm.
But in the second section is where you get all your cool techie gadgets and that kind of stuff.
Very interesting.
Yeah. There's a page about
smoke grenades.
There's a page about clothing. Just kind of be aware of how much money you're wearing. You know what I mean? Because it tells you, it goes down the line and says like a bit, like the clothing will be like 500 EB for like a business wear chest. But it is included whatever fashion you choose. You do have the appropriate level of clothing. And I'll just put this out here now in case you have really expensive clothes. People aren't buying your used clothes, man. It's not happening. Choose high fashion and then go into combat fully armed and naked. After, you know what I mean?
That was one of the things in Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
I feel like I was maybe the largest arms dealer in the entire city by the end of that game, because everything I got off of bodies I sold. Yeah. And so I was just selling used clothes riddled in bullet holes and people's guns that I didn't want.
Yeah. Man, there was a certain point where all the videos I saw popping up for Cyberpunk 2077 were like, hey, check out this crafting hack. It only costs this much to make, but they sell for this much, so it's like infinite money. It's like, why would I sit there for 5 hours farming fictitious money in a single player game? Like, what? Like, go play the game. What's wrong? I don't know. I don't get it. Some people like it. Whatever.
Core.
Yeah, they're hardcore players. You don't get it.
But yeah, so then in the next section, the Rocker Boy gets quite a bit of stuff.
Nice.
Have you guys filled out that first part of equipment yet?
I did. I have a question though. Damage, is it universally 1d6? Because in the it like automatically defaults 1d6.
No, it is not. If you scroll up, like I think 2.5 pages, right? That's where the damages are at. Page 94 shows all the different damages that weapons do, as well as their fire rate and their magazine size and things like that.
Awesome.
Yeah. Let's see. 94. I shall help you figure that out. Like you said, there's a table. Like a medium pistol is 2d6, heavy pistol 3, very heavy 4. And then they also have rates of fire. So very heavy pistol, while it does more damage than a heavy pistol, can only fire once. Whereas a heavy pistol can fire twice.
Gotcha.
And so you're pretty much just going to fill out that mini character sheet for your weapon. There should be a space for it. I actually like how simple the weapons are. And also, in case you haven't picked up on it, gameplay is mostly done with a D6 in this game.
Cool. Yeah.
It's a D6 system.
I need to figure out what this shotgun does. When I go look,
That's what it does.
when I look at the shotgun, I have to go to page 173 to see what alternate fire modes and special features are.
There you go.
Oh, page 173 doesn't load.
Gary be doing that complicated stuff. Shotguns be complicated, man. But yeah, it's cool. And then, so if you didn't feel like you got a lot in that first section, the next section is where you're at. The more combat-oriented classes like Lawman and Solo tend to have a lot in the first section. But the less combat-oriented classes have a lot in this section. Like the rock, so everybody gets what's called an agent. Every class gets one. It's pretty much like a clear bit of plastic like this big. It's a phone. It's essentially a phone, personal assistant. It's a smartphone, but it's like super sophisticated. The Rocker Boy also gets a computer, which that can take the form. You can have a laptop if you want. You can have a personal computer. It's fine. It's, you know.
I'm going to go with shells instead of slugs.
Okay.
I mean, the other way around. Slugs instead, I'm sorry.
Slugs instead of shells. Yeah, gotcha. For some reason, I heard it the right way in my head.
Yeah, we had a discussion. You knew what I meant, but I said it wrong.
Yep. And then you get to pick something. You can either have, I don't know why this is your choice, but you can either have an electric guitar or a bug detector. Matthew, a bug detector is a detector of spying devices. So you're either a musician or crazy.
That's bullshit, man. I want a small object that lets me find the nearest cricket.
Not that kind of bug detector. I suppose also if you wanted, you could have some sort of other art thing. I would allow that. But beyond that, you also get some glowing paint, which is cool. You get a pocket amp. You get a radio scanner music player, so you have a radio. A video camera is at your disposal for when you're trying to go viral. And then you get your clothing. And, hey, cool, you get mirror shades. But yeah, that's the stuff that you get. You get a computer, though. That's interesting.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
What does the executive get?
Not much.
Not much.
It's on my back, man.
Oh, that's weird. It doesn't say you have an agent. But I don't know why you wouldn't. So you have one, so don't worry. Everybody gets an agent.
Probably because as an exec, you're supposed to outfit him with whatever the corpse thinks that he needs for free.
Yeah, that's true. You will be receiving things from... at the start of the game, you're kind of kept person. You know, you're kind of you're given everything you need because you're an exec, and that is a very heavy obligation. So it's rewarded with stuff. Like, I believe in the video game, you start off with like a car, and it can fly, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's you don't get to actually drive it, but yeah, the way the campaign it's different for every character. Now they've been out for a few months, so spoilers be damned. Yeah, but there's like backgrounds you can pick, and it's exec, street rat, and nomad. And so nomad, you start out in like the wastelands, and you have to go like climb a radio tower and post a signal to try to figure out how to finish your job in the city because you got betrayed by corpse and by lawmen on the way in. They ran you off the road and tried to take your supply, and you barely made it out. And then the street rat or the street gang is exactly what you expect. You know, you grew up in the streets committing small time crimes, and now you're about to make it big with your best friend. And then the corpo is like, yeah, all these punks work for you. You're flying around in the sky drinking champagne, like you live in this fucking sick ass luxury loft, and then the scumbags you're working with down in the streets like pull you in down to their level, and you get betrayed by the corp. And so you kind of look down on everybody you're working with because you're basically a noble. You know, you're an elite from high society, and now you're down here slumming it up with the regular folks.
So how you guys doing?
Good. Just filling in the gear and stuff in the life path and inventory page. I'm in that stuff.
Absolutely. But yeah, I am going to assign you an agent, a phone. I don't know why you wouldn't have one. Like Gary said, the corporation gives you. So you have, what do you call it? A company phone. There you go. They give you a company phone.
Cool. Okay. So do I put that down instead of the agent? Then I've got a company phone specifically.
You can put agent and then like in brackets company phone if you want to, or you can just remember that it's your company's. You can't download any games. No looking at porn, that kind of stuff. You know.
Well, what is it for then?
Right. It's for calling someone to bring you porn. Yeah.
Hey, Jahan.
I'm Jahan.
Oh, wait. Are you Jahan or not?
Yeah, it's me.
How many points are we getting to buy shit overall? 2,000 overall, right?
2,000 overall. 15 of that is
on
cyberware.
Page 104.
Uh-huh.
It says that we could get 2550. Oh, maybe that's if you don't take your package.
Yeah, that is for... If you want to, I will allow you to cancel all the equipment you just got and take $25.50 to buy your own. You can do that. I don't mind.
Or you take the package and you buy with 500.
Or you can take the package and you have 500 left over to spend on whatever.
Okay.
And the 1,500 is a gift from me to you. Don't forget, you already have a free neural link. 500 EB value. Yours free if you act now.
Quote, free.
I think I liked that he did that. I think it's smart because I feel like people that don't have a neural link kind of are missing out on being able to do a lot of stuff. Like, you can't do brain dances, you can't jack into things, you can't do a lot of stuff without... You can't interface with half of the cyberware, you know?
Mm-hmm. Man, there's so much cool stuff to buy.
There is. I gotta show everybody on the stream this. This is still the book. There is an advertisement for Kiwi Kibble. Experience the exotic. Kibble is a food that people eat in the future. It's kind of like in Futurama how people eat bachelor chow, now with gravy action, you know? It's a garbage food that feeds the masses. It's not good for you. Little to no nutritional value.
Is a scrambler, descrambler a thing, or are those two different things? things.
It is a thing.
Cool.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna buy one of those for my 500.
It didn't work the way I thought it was going to. When I tried to use it in the game, it's not for like scrambling and descrambling other people's stuff. It's for scrambling and descrambling encrypted radio messages between people.
Okay.
Okay.
Because I tried to do what you're saying right now, and you said that that's not what it's for.
What's the other thing that does that?
A jammer.
A jammer.
A jammer is what I was thinking of. Scrambler's different. Jammer is what prevents communication.
That in a different section?
They might not have them.
Or is it called? It might be called a something jammer.
Or some sort of emitter, an interference emitter, you know. And then here's a picture of someone that has too many cybernetic implants for the stream to see. He's probably a cyber psycho. This section is called Putting the Cyber into the Punk. And this is where stuff really gets. This is where you get a lot of interesting abilities and gear. Including stuff that makes you look cool. But yeah, so we can do a rundown real quick of the kinds of cyberware. There's fashion wear, neural wear, cyber optics, cyber audio, internal body cyberware, external body cyberware, cyber limbs, and Borg wear. Borgware is stuff which fully replaces the majority of your body with cybernetic parts that are augmented by cybernetics. They show a guy in Cyberpunk 2077 that is absolutely Borged out, and he's pretty much just a human head on a robot body, and it's horrifying to behold.
You talking about the boxer?
I'm talking about the guy. What's his name? He chases you in that chase sequence.
Oh, then you're not talking about the boxer,
No,
dude.
I'm not talking about the boxer.
You should see the boxer at the end of the side quest. He's like he's the world heavyweight champion boxer, and he's like Borged the fuck out. He's like this little tiny human head with like chunks of metal coming out of his like the top of his head, and he's just fucking muscles on muscles, jacked, ripped, steel, bone. I mean, he's a bad mamma jamma. He doesn't look human. He looks gross.
That's funny. But yeah, so those are the different kinds. Be aware that you can go crazy by taking these. So, that's fun. But yeah, neural wear is brain implants. Fashion wear makes you look cool. Cyber optics is your eyes. Cyber audio is your ears. And then internal, external is obvious. Cyber limbs are limbs that are cyber. Some of it's self-explanatory. But be aware when you're looking at these sections that some of, most of them have a prereq. So, like, if you want to have, like, cyber optic ear stuff, or cyber ear stuff, you have to first buy, like, the base component that is upgradable, essentially. Yeah, and then there's some pretty cool stuff in fashion wear. Like tech hair, that you have luminescent hair that glows and is fake. Or you can have a subdermal LED watch implanted in your body, like under your arm or something. And then, let's see, light tattoos is what I was describing earlier. Subdermal patches store light and project colored tattoos under the skin. So,
I just finished doing all of my gear buying, and now I feel like I got my gear all fleshed out. I bought a medtech bag, 10 glow sticks, a grapple gun, a video camera, a duffel bag, duct tape, and rope.
You're into some freaky shit, man.
A video camera, duct tape, and rope.
I already start with handcuffs and a flashlight and a radio communicator, so I'm pretty much. I think I've got everything we might need in case shit hits the fan. I think I'm prepared.
Absolutely, man. I'm getting more and more excited to play next week.
Dude, it's time to chip up, Chumba. I'm going to my fucking cyberware now. I can't wait.
There you go, man. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of these stuff, if you need explanation, the guy that wrote half of this stuff explained a lot of it to us. So I guess we're probably qualified to tell you.
Man, that might be true. I didn't realize that might be true. That's a good feeling.
That's a good feeling. We're pretty, we got it from the horse's mouth. So
we took it from the horse's mouth by
force. But yeah, as you guys do this, feel free to discuss, and I'll be right back.
I miss him already. So the way the Neuralink works is it has 5 slots in it, and just think of it as like your onboard computer. It's the first thing you get in your brain before you get anything else. You have to get your motherboard, and so that's your motherboard. Now you have one. We get it for free, and it's got 5 slots, and that it'll show you how many slots things take up.
Okay.
And then that HL to the right of that Neuralink, I think Jahan explained that. That's the humanity loss. So whenever you pick up that Neuralink, you lose that amount of humanity so that you don't turn into a psycho.
Yeah.
Required to use chipware. Oh, okay. And that stuff is chipware. I see.
There's some really interesting breakdowns here. I mean, all of like the boardware and all of the implants and all of the different things you can get. It's white.
Yeah, man, I was blown away. I went up and down the list and up and down the list. The first time was like, only 1,500? Really? Like, yeah. I want 4 fucking mantis arms that unfold into blades. I don't just want 2. Like, you can add on to your body and you can get Goro arms. You can literally
get Goro arms, yeah.
2 more arms attached. It's fucking dope.
That would be stupid. Would that be like a specially tailored business suit if I had Goro?
What?
Yes.
Like a specially tailored suit if I had Goro arms, so I need like 6 armholes.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could. Yeah.
Deodorant, stuff like that.
Man, could you imagine coming across an exec who's in a suit and then all of a sudden he's got 6 arms with like katanas and you're like, oh no! Oh, that was a slick suit, Mr. Forearms.
That's pretty cool, yeah.
2 of his arms are just behind his back at all times, like clasped.
Yeah, I encourage you to bring whatever vision you have to life here, I'm a personal fan of the tool hand. You can actually get, it's one of the few upgrades of the arms and hands that you can get in a meat hand without, removing your hand.
Interesting.
Sounds kind of painful. I wonder if it would, close if you didn't use it long enough. Speaking of which, you can also get flesh pockets, which is horrifying.
That's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, we agree unanimously across the board that flesh pockets are gross.
Yeah.
Mostly because I think in the morning you would have to take a stick of deodorant and swipe the top with your finger and put it in your flesh pocket before you left for the day.
I mean, but it wouldn't happen for me. I just wouldn't do that. That's
ooh. The flesh pocket would be nice and rancid at the end of a few days.
I'm not even sure if you're allowed to say flesh pocket anymore. What year is
it? Yeah, right. I might want to watch it with the flesh pocket talk.
The flesh pocket, guys.
That's only okay for 12 more minutes.
But yeah, everyone in the chat, what are some ideas you have for characters? What would you like to play? And also, what do you think of our characters around the table today? Let us know. We're eagerly awaiting. But yeah, so you guys spend what you want. Do you have any questions about specific cyberware?
Not yet. Anyway, there's a lot to dig through, so just kind of taking it all in. I think I'm more confused, and I know you covered this, so I apologize about the amount of cash we have. I think you said we start with 1,500, but then we have some sort of 500 bonus or something.
So the 1,500 is actually the bonus. That's from me to you to give you cyberware so that you can kind of be a little stronger and a little cooler at the beginning of the game.
Cyberware. That 1,500 is for cyberware.
Yeah, the 1,500 you have to spend on cyberware. You don't have to spend all of it. You can save some. But the 500 you can spend on cyberware or other equipment. That's like your pocket money, essentially.
Okay.
But yeah, no, man. I don't mind saying things again. It's not a big deal.
Well, good. You better get used to it.
I am an infinitely patient game master. I do not get I don't get upset, or like I don't mind explaining things over and over. I don't mind teaching, I'm happy to do it. I want it to be a fun experience for everybody. Jenny says she's a cool guy, making fun of me talking and trying to do a character voice when I was not on mute before. When we played with Artel Story, and I embarrassed myself in front of James Hutt. That was funny. And then Connor says he wants to be a fast-talking cab driver who knows the city backwards and forwards.
That's pretty interesting.
One of my favorite characters in Cyberpunk 2077 is a cab driver, and he's a sentient AI who is a network of cabs.
Yeah.
And so every time you get in, he just picks up the conversation from where it last left off.
He's the coolest, yeah. I love him.
His name is Delamain, and he's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, so the cyberware is gonna take a while, and that's okay. It's a lot to look over. It's a lot to think about. We had like a full week to do it. We might have had longer. So this is another one of those things that you can contact me throughout the week if you have questions. I'm always available. We're just gonna try and get it done by the game on next Wednesday. But tonight is going to be coming to a close here in a few minutes, in about 10 minutes. We're going to shut down the stream. But this has been a fun session 0, guys. What are your thoughts so far? How do you feel about Cyberpunk?
I'm psyched. I can't wait to actually get to playing this game.
Yeah, I think just the world that's being created, and like you said, I mean, it seems like a lot of the choices kind of lent themselves to like sort of a intuitive creation and path of the world. So I'm really excited to see what you can come up with for us and how we can navigate through it. I mean, there's nothing really too much better than dystopic, futuristic nonsense. So I'm all about it. And we'll see what kind of crazy stuff we encounter, like Goro armed businessmen.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I'm a big fan. I used to play Shadowrun, and I loved it. Cyberpunk definitely scratches that itch for me. I'm very excited. I'm also excited that we're adding a new game campaign to our lineup on the reg. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's... do we want dates? Is that what people want?
Yeah, go ahead and give the dates.
Everybody's here for the dates. I hope you showed up in time for me to open my notes and read you these dates. Starting on March 3rd, that's today, guys, we're actually going to be doing our Cyberpunk Session 0 with Matthew Murphy and Kevin Romero. That's right now. That's right now. You see that? That's number 1 in my notes. That's now. We did it. Check that shit off the list. March 12th, Milestone Play is going to be joining us with Pulp Action, a Milestone Play original by Joshua with guest Ben Mayer. He's a friend of the show and professional voice actor. We'll be playing from 8 p.m. until 11 p.m. as per usual. Also join us on Thursdays for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, Wednesdays from here on out for Cyberpunk Red. March 19th, we'll be playing Dark Peaks with Kieran, which is a kind of a dark, gritty, dirty, almost a meat grinder type of game where you exist only to die in your first few sessions. Kieran is hilarious. He's such a great guy. The system's a lot of fun. Apparently there is a long play version of it, but we haven't done that yet. We've just done his one-shots. Again, that's March 19th. And finally, March 26th, we're doing Streaming for Survivors with Amit Moshe, Tony Vacinda, and Kelly Wright from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. We'll be playing City of Mist, which was created by Amit Moshe, and all the donations during the live stream are going to go towards survivors of sexual abuse. And
I have set up a Tiltify account. You're going to be donating through that. Do not donate to the channel. That money goes to us, so don't do that. In fact, I encourage you not to donate to us during that time at all. Give it all to the charity that is for survivors of sexual assault.
And that's our schedule this month. That's our big schedule.
It is a robust schedule, sir.
We have already started planning for next month. If you joined us last night, Monty Cook Games stopped by while we were reading Cypher System. We exchanged contact information. They said they do live plays, they do hosts, they send people out to play games. So look forward to us playing Cypher System probably next month with Monty Cook Games.
Absolutely, that's gonna be cool too. Yeah, and then we have made 2 new friends here on the show, Kevin and Matt. They're going to be playing this whole Cyberpunk campaign with us, and hopefully they'll be involved in other projects in the future as well. But yeah, Fresh Out the Box is growing. Things are great. Couldn't do it without you viewers. Thank you so much. And don't forget to tune in tomorrow at 8 Central to 11 for our weekly Warhammer Fantasy role-playing game. But yeah, so how do you guys pumped and ready to play next week?
Yeah, man.
Hell yeah.
I already I installed a couple of the cyber mods I'm feeling real fucking good about.
Absolutely. During when you're installing cyber mods, make sure to pay attention to and to keep track of the humanity loss. It's all cumulative. You lose humanity for each piece that you install. Some of them don't take any. And you're going to subtract it from your humanity score, which is your empathy times 10. And don't get it too low because you will go crazy. Not in a good way, not in a fun way, in more of a berserk, I see digital ghosts kind of way. So keep an eye on that. But yeah, definitely pick what you want. Pick what's fun. Pick what you can use in fun ways, cool ways, and make a character that we can all enjoy. Kevin, Matt, you guys have anything to say?
Just thanks for having us. I mean, it's been a great time. I'm really looking forward to next week. And I mean, this was super productive session 0. So thank you.
Hell yeah. I can't wait to do some crime.
Absolutely. Some crime shall be had.
We don't have to wait till next week. You have my contact information. If you want to do crime, just hit me up 24/7.
Is this a trap?
Just hit me up for crime. Like, yeah, that's, me and my friends are totally into crime, man. It just whatever floats our boat that day.
But yeah, so we're gonna call it there, guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Follow us at Fresh Out the Box on Twitter, fresh_out the box. Follow us Fresh Out the Box on Facebook, which is a very large and growing community. And check out our YouTube. All links are in my bio. It's been great. You guys have been great. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for cheering us on. I've been Johananon, the Game Master.
And I'm Casualty CDG. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you on the next one, baby.
And this is Matt and Kevin.
Thanks, y'all.